So, have you guys heard that America is laying out the groundwork and writing up a bill to reinstitute the draft for young men? So, of course, we know that they've intentionally made the military conditions so unbearable and so unjust that people are like, I ain't finna join that. And so, of course, there's not enough people to be in the military in case of war or anything. So what's happening is they are trying to reinstitute the draft bill so that when war pops off, you know, they're going to have somebody to fight. Because ain't nobody in the military. Don't nobody want to do that. So what y'all finna do? I'm just asking because I'm not going. I don't know about you guys. I just don't think that that's going to work for this generation. I feel like there ain't enough prison cells in America to keep all the AWOLers. There ain't enough FEMA camps on Earth to keep all the AWOLers. Like, we ain't going. Not we. Y'all ain't going. I'm already not going because, you know, I'm a woman and I'm a single parent. But, yeah. What y'all finna do? Are y'all gonna go? Are you gonna fight for your country? No, it's a real question. I'm for real. And if y'all don't go, what y'all finna do? Like, where you finna go? And I bet you they're gonna raise the age limit to be in the military. It's probably gonna be up to like 40, 45, something like that. Baby, the plan of the devil is to steal, kill, and destroy. And with the draft, that's exactly what's gonna happen. Because they already here. They already here, y'all. They done let them invade.
We're hearing a lot of talk about a proposed draft, a military draft. And it could come to pass. All praise to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. This short video will be entitled, Boast Not Thyself of Tomorrow. Okay? Boast not thyself of tomorrow. And it may even be entitled Military Draft. Boast not thyself of tomorrow. Yeah, I like that better. So in the video that you saw before this, all right, you had a young woman here talking about the draft, and she, speaking very proudly, in my opinion, very proudly about, not being able to go to the, she ain't going to the draft, this, that, and the other, because she's a single mother and she's a woman. Well, you know what? You actually have it on the books. Let's go there real quick. There's an article that I came across, right? And it says what? It's from military.com. Requirement for women to register for the draft back on the table in annual defense bill. You see women here, right? Carrying weapons. And this is from June 27, 2022. So over a year old. A fight over whether women should be required to register for a potential draft has been revived in Congress. Last year, Congress appeared on the precipice of making women register with what's formerly called the Selective Service System. But the idea was dropped from the defense policy bill signed into law after closed-door House-Senate negotiations despite having bipartisan support. Now the proposal is back in the version of the National Defense Authorization Act, or NDAA, making its way through the Senate, and conservatives are again vowing a fierce fight against what they refer to as drafting our daughters. The U.S. military has not drafted anyone since the Vietnam War, and defense officials have repeatedly said they have no intention of moving away from the all-volunteer force. But men ages 18 through 25 still have to register for selective service in case of an emergency catastrophic enough to activate the draft. If they fail to register, men face consequences, such as losing access to federal financial aid for college. Earlier this month, the Senate Armed Forces Committee voted 20-6 to require women to register for the draft as part of its version of this year's NDAA. The version of the NDAA advanced by the House Armed Services Committee last week does not contain a similar provision, despite the committee supporting the idea last year. And let's see. I'm gonna see if it's something else. And overall, let's jump down to this paragraph. But all combat jobs were open to women in 2015. Congress followed that decision by including a requirement for women to register for the draft in initial versions of the 2016 NDAA. So, they've been talking about it back and forth. I'll say this: women want equal rights. More than likely, you're going to be required to be a part of that draft. Now, we can't say for certain, but I will say this for certain. As the scriptures say, boast not thyself of tomorrow. Nobody can say what you will do, what you won't do, because you don't know. Right? Like we was going into in the live stream. I was just doing a live stream with the elder brother Yashawamba. And like I said then, when we played this video in that live stream, you're under the impression that you still have some type of rights. If they grabbed you and took you and threw you into the military and trained you and gave you a gun and say go shoot people, what do you think you're gonna do? You don't have any rights. They could do that. They could grab you and snatch you up and make you go fight, especially if you've been in the military formally. So, let this be a lesson to women out there running your mouth about you ain't going to the draft, because you just might. And I'm just gonna read a few quick scriptures. This girl right here. And, I wanted to mention also that in videos past of hers, we speculated that perhaps that maybe she was an Israelite. Maybe she knew she was a Hebrew Israelite. Well, it's been confirmed because on this image, you see her at the bottom of her tags. Yeah, hashtag military draft, hashtag military TikTok, hashtag black men, black women, hashtag Hebrew Israelite. So she knows she's an Israelite. And I think that would lend to the reason why she acts so nonchalant, like she got it all figured out. You don't know if you of the elect. You don't know. You have no idea if the Lord gonna require you to go into the draft, because guess what? A lot of people that are Israelites, you think you got it all figured out, but you ain't really following the Lord, in truth and sincerity like you should. You just kind of nonchalantly doing it, and you still you still resemble a worldly person. So the Lord may have you get thrown into that meat grinder, as it's been called. I'm just gonna read two quick scripts here, and maybe I even go to a different translation. Now this is James 4:13. What we should never do is boast about what we're gonna do, because we don't know. And it's in the Bible. It's James 4:13. Go to now, ye that say today or tomorrow we will go into such a city and continue there and buy and sell and get gain. Whereas you know not what shall be on the morrow. For what is your life? It is even a vapor that appeareth for a little time and then vanisheth away. For that ye ought to say, if the Lord will, we shall live and do this or that. But now you rejoice in your boastings. All such rejoicing is evil. It's evil when you boast and you talk about what you're going to do tomorrow. You ain't going to do this. You ain't going to do that. You should always say, Lord willing. Now I want to read you the Good News translation of that. This is James 4:13. It says, warning against boasting. Now listen to me, you that say, today or tomorrow we will travel to a certain city where we will stay a year and go into business and make a lot of money. You don't even know what your life tomorrow will be. You are like a puff of smoke, which appears for a little moment and then disappears. What you should say is this: if the Lord is willing, we will live and do this or that. But now you are proud and you boast. All such boasting is wrong. See that? So that boisterous and boasting attitude. And she comes to always make these videos with this smile on her face, like she's just about to break out into uncontrollable laughter because of the misfortunes of others. And we do it prophetically because we know as the prophets, where we stand. This woman ain't no prophet, right? And she doesn't have a resemblance of a Hebrew Israelite that's acknowledging the truth. She don't even mention the Most High, really. But it is what it is. I mean, I just saw the video, kind of rubbed me the wrong way. This this attitude that women have is just like, you get so tired of it. But particularly you Israelite women, you should be more humble than that. And you're in error thinking that you can possibly be drafted just because you're a woman, because you could be. As we already showed you. You don't know what these devils are going to pull out of their hat. And further than that, you don't know what the Lord is planning on doing. Let's read one more. Proverbs 27 verse 1, a short, quick one. It says, boast not thyself of tomorrow, for thou knowest not what a day may bring forth. You don't want to boast about tomorrow. You don't know what's going to happen. Right? Let's get a few versions of it. NLT, don't brag about tomorrow, since you don't know what the day will bring. NIV, do not boast about tomorrow, for you do not know what a day may bring. And every one of them is pretty much straightforward. Sound about the same. Let's read it again. Boast not thyself of tomorrow, for thou knowest not what a day may bring forth. Right? There's an old song called What a Difference a Day Makes. Right? Now, you don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. So you should never boast. Let's go to Proverbs, especially if you're an Israelite. You should know better than that. But we always see this woman making these types of videos. Now, Proverbs 27 and 1, from the Good News Translation, it says, never boast about tomorrow. You don't know what will happen between now and then. Right. You don't know what will happen between now and then. And we can go further than that. Let's get real quick. Proverbs. See where you're gonna go and what you do. It's all up to the Lord. It ain't up to you. So you should never say what you're gonna do and what you might not do, or what you're not gonna do. Proverbs 20:24. Man's goings are of the Lord. How can a man then understand his own way? Right? How you can't understand how you got where you're going and all of that. Proverbs 20:24 from the Good News Translation. Look at this. This is fire. It says, the Lord has determined our path. How then can anyone understand the direction of his own Salakia? The direction his own life is taking. Let me read it again. The Lord has determined our path. How then can anyone understand the direction of his own life is taking? Right. You don't know. You don't know what the Lord might do. He might decide to throw your ass into that military draft. Then what? There's one more here. Order it. Just give me one quick second here. Man's heart. So this will be Proverbs 16 and 9. And let's open it up. It says, a man's heart deviseth his way, but the Lord directeth his steps. Yeah, you might have a thought in your mind to do this or that, but the Lord is going to reroute you according to his purpose. Never forget that. A man's heart deviseth his way, but the Lord directeth his steps. Let's get it over here. Proverbs 16 and 9. Verse 9 from the Good News Translation. It says, you may make plans, but the Most High directs your actions. And it's right there. You may make your plans, but the Most High directs your actions. Brings into mind the old saying, if you want to make the Lord laugh, tell him what you got planned. Boast not yourself of tomorrow. That military draft is coming, and you don't know if you'll be required to be a part of it. Just because you're an Israelite doesn't excuse you from it, because you could be a wicked Israelite. All praise to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Shalom.